YouTube Live or Hangouts on Air. It's basically the same thing. So here to the left, just like you do in Hangouts, you can do chat. So I can have a conversation. I can also share my screen. And that's really helpful if you want to do a tutorial or you want to teach someone how to use something, how to do something. Say I want to share a slide deck. I can use that to share. Control room, I really just use that to add like a banner at the top, at the bottom of my screen that gives you like additional functionality. And then everything else that you would already be able to do in Hangouts, you can now do in Hangout Live. The main difference again is that people can actually watch it through YouTube and see it. And it's recorded. So if I wanted to do a flipped classroom model with my students, I can record myself giving a lesson, and then I can share that recording with my students ahead of time, like maybe the day before class, and then have them watch it for homework. When they come in for class, we can discuss or do the project that we need to for the 15-minute lesson that they already watched. You can also have it going on in the classroom at different stations. You can have students create their own YouTube Live videos that they share. One of the things that you want to be mindful of is if you're unable to access YouTube in your school, I always say ask your students how to beat it, how to get around it. They know. But this also could be served as a leverage to explain to your principal or your administration as to how it can be used in an educational manner, because your students are using it anyway. So why not teach them how we can use YouTube in a way that can actually better their education? You can have a school created YouTube channel that has the different settings and privacy settings in place, and then you can still leverage that for your students or with your students. Are there any questions about this so far? So I just want to go back to the slide deck and just bring up the different times or scenarios that you would be able to use this, or when you would want to use this. You would want to use this to connect with experts. You want to do mystery calls. A mystery call is where you're connected with someone possibly in another country, and basically they describe the setting or they describe what life is like in my school versus your school, or my neighborhood versus your neighborhood. You can also do virtual meetings. So if you want to meet with someone, connecting with your PLN, your personal learning network. So if you want to connect with other experts or teachers to see what they're doing and working on. And then finally, to record your lessons. On the exam, if they were to ask you, why would you use YouTube Live? Because they probably will ask you, why would you use Hangouts on Air? How would you use it? Instead of asking you to actually do it. In which case, your response would be a blended learning model for Hangouts on Air or YouTube Live if you were doing it. Right? So. Cool. The other thing I want to show you while we're here, Christina mentioned, so if you're using the old Google Calendar, we think the test is going to have that up there. And if they ask you to enable labs, or it's like add-ons for calendar, the way you would do that is just by going to the gear in the top right-hand corner of the calendar and clicking labs. Once you go to the gear, it's like your settings, right? You go to the gear, you go to labs. Once you get to labs, it's going to show you all the different labs that other people have created. So this lab was created by Alice in 2011. And basically, you can enable that lab. They'll tell you which one they want you to enable. This lab really just hides the early morning and night. So if your calendar, if you're not ever active at 3 a.m. or 11 p.m. for school, this will actually hide those time blocks. So all you see is the amount of time that you're actually in school for. That's just a lab that this person thought was useful and created that you can use if you enable that. I think that's everything. Are there any questions for us while we're here? I use this phone. Sorry. Just get some juice while I'm waiting.
Yeah, a little bit at each table.
Yeah, she's on
Yeah, that's it.
You guys have any other questions or anything like that? You're familiar with how to use Hangouts and everything. No questions on that today.
You guys do great.
Yeah, we're excited. No, you're going to knock it out the park.
You're still live?
Yeah.